evening and welcome to Carlin tonight. Do you remember a time when the internet felt like a neon city? Chaotic, profane, and alive. Well, open your web browser tonight and what do you see? Endless miles of AI-generated mush. Digital oatmeal shoveled into your feed by trillion-dollar tech cartels who think creativity is just a line of code that they haven't copyrighted yet. And if you doubt me, search anything, and watch the landfill rise. SEO zombie blogs, faceless text-to-speech YouTube channels, LinkedIn thought leaders who are peddling word salads written by a bot that barely speaks any English. It's true. The internet as we knew it is dying, and the gravediggers are the same Silicon Valley geniuses who promised us a digital utopia. Tonight, we autopsy the same course, name the killers, and ask the only question that matters. Are you going to let a handful of algorithmic vampires drain the last drop of human blood from the web? Or are you going to fight back before they decide that you'll eat what's for dinner and won't ask any questions? But first, if this monologue makes any sense to you, and if you can still feel the difference between a live wire and a plastic replica, smash the subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, because the big tech and government want to take us off the air. They want to censor us, demonetize us, and algorithmically erase us. They're coming after you. I'm just in the way. So help me prove that real voices still matter. Alright, so less than a decade ago, a meme could make you famous overnight. A tweet could spark a revolution. Today, you're lucky if your AI-approved content makes it past a bot sensitivity filter. They call it personalization. I call it psychopathic predictive analysis. Because when every click, like, and scroll is auctioned to the highest bidder, the one thing that gets personalized is how quickly you get bored. Algorithms don't give a shit about art, nuance, or your grandma's homemade jam recipe. The only thing they care about is one metric: how long they can keep you trapped in their feed. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and all feeding you the same dopamine drip garbage until your brainwaves file for bankruptcy and unemployment. And now we're told, don't worry humans, we'll let you keep chasing your influencer dreams just as long as you sign over your content rights to our neural nets. So here's the pitch: upload your soul into the cloud and we'll pay you. Oh, what? A whopping 2 cents per view. Meanwhile, the platform rolls our AI content creator mode that shits out endless derivative, original videos in your voice. Yes, because nothing says platform of the people quite like replacing the people with soulless code. Your next viral hit, but probably generated by the same tech bros who can't code without an AI prompt. Right, so I watched a video by a brilliant young woman named Kate Cassidy. Smart tech worker, 6 years in the trenches. She just spent 24 minutes detailing the rot, and she calls it AI slop, which it is, and it's true. Low effort, low soul content, vomiting across every platform. So get this, 50% of new online text already carries the stench. Half the web reduced to fridge magnet poetry assembled by a server farm in Arizona. Remember when blogs sounded like people? Now they read like IKEA instructions translated from Swedish to Mandarin to Pig Latin and back. Google search, it's a crime scene. The first page is ads, and the next are 9 AI regurgitating last year's Medium post. And somewhere on page 11 lies the human who actually thought the thought. Why is this happening? Because the platforms discovered something dark. You can replace messy, demanding humans with obedient language models that never unionize, never ask for healthcare, never tweet about labor rights. That's not innovation now. That's corporate replacement theory. The systematic swap out of real creators for automated clones. And the tech barons love it. Google's rolling out AI search highlights, pre-digested blurbs so you never click away. TikTok's flooding your For You page with text-to-speech story times about Amazon horror stories that never happened. Meanwhile, YouTube's new Dream Screen will soon auto-generate B-roll so generic it makes elevator music sound edgy. The result? A Twilight Zone where bots create content for other bots to scrape, remix, and barf back at you. Human voices get buried, genuine curiosity suffocates, and we all choke on the smog of synthetic culture. There was a time, cue the nostalgic violin, when Googling felt like cracking open the Library of Alexandria. Type a query, travel the universe. Now you're knee-deep in pop-up ads for toe fungus cream before you even finish typing how to. Google's ad load is so bloated it needs Peloton classes. But ads are just layer 1. Layer 2 is the SEO clickbait. 10-paragraph ultimate guides that say nothing until paragraph 11, where they finally admit that they didn't know either. Layer 3, the AI blogs. They'll tell you top 10 healthy snacks and slip latex paint chips at number 7 because the LLM couldn't tell a Cheez-It from a drywall sample. Yet Google shrugs. Why? Because garbage keeps you scrolling. Scrolling keeps you on their turf, and the time on the turf equals dollars. Democracy dies in darkness. Apparently, curiosity dies in the AdSense. We are fed up. Fed up, normal people have started fleeing to the walled gardens, TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube, places where at least some human fingerprints remain. Kit admits that she now appends Reddit to every query just to guarantee flesh and blood answers. I do the same. So do you. But here's the twist. Those platforms are better prisons. TikTok's algorithm is a Portuguese man-o-war. Beautiful, hypnotic, and designed to paralyze you while it feeds. YouTube's recommendation engine is a slot machine rigged by behavioral economists. Reddit, the redesign, screams, "Please scroll another hour! We need ad impressions!" They aren't arcs rescuing us from Google's flood. They're rival dystopias fighting over your dopamine. Now, some folks claim the web is already dead, that bots outnumber humans, talking to other bots, while we watch from the bleachers. Sound paranoid? Cloudflare's own telemetry says over half of web traffic is automated. More than 50%, meaning you, dear viewer, are already a minority species online. The AI replacement isn't coming, it's in the living room wearing your slippers. And each recycled data point fed back into large language models creates a feedback loop of blandness, digital inbreeding. In other words,
you're being replaced and there's nothing you can do about it. So shut up!
Luckily, with people like Mark Zuckerberg in charge, we're not going to get anything done. The guy's a moron. Our culture is being flattened. Humor is being homogenized, and every LinkedIn post starts with, "Oh, I never thought this would happen, but..." Oh boy. Enter ChatGPT. Perplexity, Gemini, all promising efficiency. Why waste time vetting sources when a chatbot can spoon-feed you a neatly hallucinated summary? But summaries don't click through. No clicks, no revenue. No revenue, no journalists. No journalists, no new facts to feed the models. Welcome to the Ouroboros of stupidity. The New York Times is suing OpenAI for strip mining its archives. Right-wing blogs are suing over copyright. Left-wing Substacks are panicking about dwindling signups. On this, at least, everyone agrees. The bots are looting the library and burning the books on the way out. Welcome back to Tyler Carlin Tonight. If you stuck around the break, congratulations. You're not yet a dopamine-addled husk, scrolling AI sludge at 3-second intervals. You still bleed, you still think, and you still know the difference between a human sentence and a stochastic word salad. Tonight, we stop naming trends and start naming culprits. Loudly, personally, and maybe even profanely. Because the tech overlords aren't abstract forces. They're flesh and blood oligarchs who've decided that we, actual creators, teachers, artisans, are obsolete. It's the replacement theory in a hoodie, and the battle lines couldn't be any clearer. So, Sundar Pichai, alphabet kingpin, beta smile permanently glued to his face. Sundar oozes responsible AI platitudes while Google search devolves into a landfill. But he doesn't care, because every malformed answer is still showing 5 ads. Google makes money whether or not you're enlightened or lobotomized, because you've built the world's biggest library, Sundar, and set it on fire for spare change. Congratulations, you're the Guy Fawkes of information minus the conviction. Mark Zuckerberg is next. The Zuckster fled reality faster than a Swiss banker with an extradition notice. He wants you legless in the metaverse so he can rent your eyeballs by the hour. Every reel, every short, every dead-eyed filter is another pixel nailed into humanity's coffin. Mark, once you printed "move fast and break things," turns out the thing was civil discourse, and you snapped it like a breadstick. Up next, we've got Elon Musk. Free speech martyr, please. He got at Twitter, renamed it X, then repopulated with spam casinos, Doge scams, and burner bot armies. He claims divided propaganda while selling Neuralink snake oil to anyone with a forehead. Elon, you're the carnival barker of techno-utopia, right down to the overpriced tickets and the ride that never opens. Satya Nadella is next, the quiet assassin. He straps Copilot onto every Microsoft product, then bills it as unlocking creativity. In other words, you're paying a second subscription to rewrite the email you already wrote. Satya's vision of paradise is Outlook sending itself memos, while you're replaced by an LLM that underbids your salary by 100%. Sam Altman is next, our soft-spoken AI guru smiling genius like a caffeinated monk, while ChatGPT hallucinates legal briefs, medical advice, and the last rites. He didn't invent intelligence, he just digitized plagiarism and called it philanthropy. Sam, your model doesn't democratize knowledge, it chews copyright and spits out cliches. Together, these five form the technogarchy, which is a cartel convinced that they can swap 8 billion humans for a cluster of GPUs and never pay taxes on the savings. Now, if you dare protest, if you'd point out that AI mediocrity is replacing flesh and blood genius, they brand you as a bigot against technology. They don't want us asking any questions. Why? Because asking is racist, asking is a threat to their existence. So shut up and accept it. Otherwise, you're a bigot against technology. I mean, it's ridiculous. Remember the COVID era when any dissent was killing grandma? Same playbook. Now skepticism equals tech hate. They hide behind legalese about disparate impact on disabled users. None of them have any idea what's going on. AI is being deployed for the benefit of those people. The boardroom priesthood. Not you. But you can't say that aloud, because then you'd be denying accessibility. Maybe even violating some cyber ADA nonsense they'll ram through the next session. And they scold, accommodate the algorithm's disability, pretend it's gibberish is profound. Just like we had to pretend that the White House faith advisor, a televangelist who sells salvation for $99 plus shipping, is a paragon of virtue. Oh, she's so great, we dare say she wasn't. She was ridiculous. And so is your Silicon Oracle, Sundar. Here's the insidious part. AI slop doesn't have to be perfect, but just good enough to keep you scrolling. Corporate mentors taught them that if 80% accuracy costs $1 million, but 95% costs $100 million, choose the 80% and let the consumer beta test the nightmare. Your misdiagnosed cancer? That's just acceptable loss. Your plagiarized novel? That's collateral damage. Quality dies, quantity scales. Profit skyrockets. So let me spell it out for you. We are everyone who bleeds, dreams, and creates. They are the 5 CEOs who'd like your job automated by sunrise. They're not geniuses. They're digital landlords charging rent on knowledge we built. They harvest our conversations, our art, our memories, then resell them back to us behind a paywall. They call it progress. I call it digital sharecropping. They own the land, we do the labor, and then they skim the crop. So how do we fight? Simple. Starve their metrics. Block and bounce every AI sludge link. Dwell time is currency. Don't deposit seconds into their bank. Amp up the real creators. Substack, Bandcamp, Ko-Fi. Pay the human and not the parasite. Fragment the feed. Mastodon, RSS. Newsletters, decentralize or die. Drag Congress left and right into antitrust war. Break up the monopolies. Bust data hoards and property rights for your own words. What a concept! Opt out. Privacy tools and blockers, and use local AI if you must. Your data is dynamite, so stop handing it over like Halloween candy. So ask yourself, what happens when the last investigative journalist is replaced by a chatbot trained on press releases? When the last novelist competes with a 5-cent AI pulp? When your kid's history paper is graded by an LLM that confuses Lincoln with Jefferson Davis? Our culture dies, democracy flatlines, and the world becomes a badly translated instruction manual. They want us to be silent consumers, eyes glazed, brains drained. Well, that's Gen Z, so they've already won. But no, we're still gonna fight. Gen Z's gonna fight, and you too can fight. Take a stand against this nonsense, this drivel being shoved down our throats. Ask a question and you're suddenly a racist. Raise an eyebrow and you're a technophobe. Shut up and accept it, or be labeled as a bigot against progress. Not here, not tonight. This show lives on questions and our skepticism and the raw human impulse to shout, why? And we're gonna keep asking until the servers melt. So choose. Human or hologram, creator or consumer, citizen or data point. And smash the subscribe button, share this rant, and prove to the algorithm that flesh still outperforms silicon. They can shadow ban a channel, but they can't cancel 8 billion living minds. I'm Tyler Carlin, and I laugh so hard that it pisses them off. Good night, and long live humanity.